Why choose an Xbox One X over the PS4? This is a question that has been asked countless times since E3, and in an interview recently, Aaron Greenberg gave the answer. What's going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another daily video. Hope everybody is having a good start to the weekend. And yes, we're going to be talking about Xbox One X versus the PS4 Pro. Oh man, I can already see the comments forming in the comments section for this video already. Anyways, so Aaron Greenberg and Victor Lucas recently had an interview at E3. The video just went up on Electric Playground's website. I recommend checking out the whole interview. It's 15 minutes long. I will have the YouTube link in the description if you guys want to watch it, which I highly recommend. It's a great interview. Victor Lucas is a good dude. We interviewed him on TXR Podcast a while back. Great interview, a lot of information. They go over a whole bunch of Xbox stuff. Where are the new IPs? Why haven't you talked about Halo and Gears? The backwards compatibility stuff, all the stuff that a lot of people, are asking about. He doesn't really give a lot of softball questions. They're really kind of hard hitting. But one of the last questions he asked was, consumer walks into the store, sees the Xbox One X and the PS4. What reasons should he pick the Xbox One X over the PS4 Pro? And I'm going to read you Aaron Greenberg's response, and then we're going to talk about it, because I find this interesting. Even though I've talked about this before, this kind of furthers my belief on what Microsoft is thinking when they built the system. So he says to Victor, after that question about why choose the Xbox One X over the PS4 Pro, and he says, well, I'd say if you want true 4K gaming, it requires 6 teraflops of power. We have 43% more graphical power, over 60% more memory we make available to developers. But the most important thing is, whether you're a hockey fan, a racing fan, an RPG fan, whatever game you want to play, it will look and play better on the Xbox One X because we bring significantly more power to the table. So that is Aaron Greenberg's response, his direct response to a question about why you should, or why a customer should choose the Xbox One X over the PS4. And it basically boils down to power. And there's, when I saw the interview, which was a fantastic interview, Victor Lucas is so good at that stuff, there was kind of one thing that came to mind when I was watching it with the power stuff, and I'm going to kind of cut to that right here. Unlimited power. Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to use that clip in a video, and now I got to fulfill one of my dreams, because that's kind of what I thought when I read his thing. It's all about power now. It's all about that. So what better way than Palpatine killing Mace Windu with the unlimited power thing? I thought it was very appropriate for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I enjoyed making it. But anyways, back to the point I wanted to make about all this is, for a while I felt that Microsoft, they hated the Digital Foundry comparisons between the PlayStation 4 games and the original Xbox One games. Basically, they lost every single head-to-head. Games that would be 1080p on the PlayStation 4 were 900p on the Xbox One. Games that were 900p on the PlayStation 4 were 720p on the Xbox One. We all remember the articles about blurry 720p and the resolution war that happened. And the Xbox One X is a direct response to those complaints and people making fun of the system, and Digital Foundry basically giving every multiplat the go-ahead to pick it up on the PlayStation 4. That's why the system exists. It exists so they no longer have to deal with that stuff. The question is, in this day and age, in a mid-gen upgrade, is that enough to get people to switch between or choose between PlayStation 4, the PS4 Pro, and the Xbox One X? I guess you would have to look at who is actually trying to buy the system. And if you're a PlayStation gamer and you're looking to upgrade and you have a bunch of friends on PlayStation and you have nobody on Xbox and you don't like the exclusives, you're going to buy a PS4 Pro, regardless of if the Xbox One X doesn't do stuff better. On the flip side, if you're an Xbox gamer and all your friends are on Xbox, all your purchases are on Xbox, and you want to play the best versions of the games that you can possibly play, well, of course, no doubt, you're going to spend the $500 to buy that game, or to buy that system to play those games on Xbox One X. Xbox gamers typically care about Xbox exclusives whenever they come, and PlayStation 4 gamers typically care about their exclusives whenever they come. The question is, what about the consumer that really doesn't have an interest or an allegiance to either or, and one who isn't, enamored by PC gaming? Just a console gamer, not really interested in any of the exclusives, but wants to get one of these machines to play the third-party games on a TV set that's 4K. It's like, well, what do you get? And I think that may be one of the type of consumers Microsoft is targeting with the Xbox One X. Like he says, like Aaron Greenberg says in the final quote, but the most important thing is, the most important thing is, whether you're a hockey fan, a racing fan, an RPG fan, whatever game you want to play, it will look and play better on the Xbox One X, because we bring significantly more power to the table. That is his direct answer about why somebody should choose the Xbox One X over the PS4 Pro when they go shopping this holiday. Yes, price is also a factor, and yes, Microsoft is going to have to deal with that. But it is interesting. And now we have a direct response from one of the executives about a reason why you should choose one over the other. Power. And let's be frank here and honest. Power is a big part of this whole generation. It's one of the reasons PS4 is now cruising to 65 million, 70 million, 100 million in a few years. And anybody that says otherwise is just lying not only to you, but to themselves. Power sold the PS4, but also the price sold the PS4. It was cheaper and it was more powerful, and quite frankly, maybe the biggest reason or the biggest factor in who sold PS4s was Microsoft. Microsoft and their ridiculous attachment to the Kinect sensor that nobody wanted, which made that system more expensive and less powerful. They basically sold PS4s to people with the whole online DRM bullcrap. We all remember the stuff. We don't need to get into it. But they basically sold PS4s. But they want to take that all back. Now we're back to this simple, I guess you can say it's a pure message, and the message is basically unlimited power, like in the Star Wars thing. You want the system because it's going to play games better, whether that's faster load times, whether that's better draw distance, or whether it's 4K resolution, which they honestly haven't really done a good job of talking about that. Well, because a lot of the games seem to be checkerboard rendering. But either way, they've gone out of their way to try to explain to people why you need it. And it's all the power stuff. Because, to be quite frank, in my personal opinion, the exclusives this year on Xbox just aren't very good. The beginning of this year was terrible for Xbox owners. You had Halo Wars 2, you had Voodoo Vince, and Phantom Dust. Sorry, As much as I liked Halo Wars 2, that is a terrible lineup of exclusive games. In the back half of the year, you're going to have Forza Motorsport 7, which is going to be a great game like it always is. You're going to have Super Lucky's Tale, which I hear is good, but, I mean, I don't know. You're going to have Crackdown 3, which I'm kind of still on the fence on because I want to see the multiplayer destruction, and we haven't seen that yet. And, what is the other game? Is that it? Is that all the games I mentioned? There's only a couple of them? There's only a couple of them for Xbox and PS4. So basically, Microsoft is hoping that you really want to play Call of Duty and Star Wars Battlefront and NBA 2K and all the third-party games like Wolfenstein and stuff on the Xbox One X in true 4K with better load times, better draw distances, and all that stuff. That is the reason to get the Xbox One X. According to Aaron Greenberg, it's all about the power. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification, the little bell thing next to the subscribe button so you always get notified when I make a new video. Share this out to all your friends and followers, and I'll see everybody later.